Most kids get domesticated like a dog with reward and punishment. So they end up thinking attention is love. And because of that, it grooms the child to become codependent. They become natural people pleasers. They don't give a fuck about what they want and what they need. It's all about what another person wants and what another person needs. That is what they strive off, because that is the way that they get love, quote unquote attention, which is not love. So in life, you end up striving to people please and do everything a person wants from you, everything a person needs from you, because you think this is the way to get the person to love you. Love is not a gift. You deserve every bit. That is something that you naturally receive. And if you have to work, I'm talking about you sweating, blood and tears, you going out your way, you breaking your neck, your back, your ankle, your spine in order to receive it, then it's not real. The same way the attention being personified as love wasn't real. But that was the only time that the kid felt love, was when they was getting the attention, because any other time they're being neglected. So you end up like living your life in a way where you become an overachiever. And not only do you become an overachiever, you go out your way to please everyone around you just to get burnt out, because you're never receiving what you need and what you want from these people, from yourself, because you know the lack of self-love is there, so you always have that void. You have a fucked up way of building relationships, because you build relationships with people that never genuinely loved you, never genuinely cared, and that could be boyfriend, girlfriend, or platonic. The only value you had was the people pleasing. This is where narcissists come into play. This is where their supply, this is how they get their supply. People pleasers, codependent people, go out their way to give any and everything that they need, even if it's doing a disservice to yourself. You giving it because you get attention. Now you feel like you are loved because you gave this person all that you can give. So now you think in your head, well, they gotta love me. They gotta give me this attention. But the narcissist only gives you the attention because you're giving them the supply. Without the codependent person, the narcissist can't exist. The codependent person and the narcissist both live in a delusion. They both live in a false perception of life mentally. The narcissist is not loving their self, is not believing in their self, and don't think that they are all that they portray themselves out to be, which is why they need the codependent person there to validate them. We give them their supply. And in return, all we get back is the false perception of love. We make the cycle complete. We give them the supply that makes them feel whole, and they play the false perception role of someone that loves us, and we take it. We are not even receiving real love. But it's close. It's close to it. And it's not. But we take whatever we get because we're not giving it to ourselves. So we don't give a fuck whether or not it's false. It's better than nothing. Better than the nothing that we were receiving before they were there, because we refused to give it to ourselves. So the cycle never ends. If the narcissist leaves the codependent person is just looking for another narcissist to give supply to, so that they can receive a false perception of love again. If the codependent person leaves, the narcissist is just looking for another person that's damaged and broke, so that they can get their supply back from. The cycle will never end. And it all stems from childhood. It all stems from trauma. It all stems from the lack of love. This is why personal healing is important. You become a possession. You basically sign a contract giving up all rights and authority to yourself to another person in order to receive the false perception of love. This shit is wild, but it's real shit, which is why self-love is so important. It is detrimental. It is very important that you personally heal so that you can get around to loving yourself and filling the void, because you cannot fill it with anybody else.